What is going on, guys? This is Brad with despitefitness, and today is November 19th. It's a Thursday. It's gonna be a squat day. I figured it'd be a good opportunity to kind of go through and just demonstrate my whole setup, warm up, getting into squat. Because a lot of people will ask, like what your warm up routine is or how to go about certain things. So this video will be me just kind of demonstrating how I do what I do in getting ready to squat. So today's session is going to be heading up to right about 600 pounds. I'm going to be aiming for a 3x3. So definitely on the heavier side of things. So I'll just kind of demonstrate how I get myself ramped up and ready to do that, so that you guys can have that as kind of a, I don't know, just as an example. Of course, this is just kind of how I go about things. This isn't necessarily how you need to go about things. Everyone kind of finds their own pattern. And while I do this most of the time, pretty consistently, it's not every time always the same. Sometimes there is some variation in there. For example, if I'm getting ready to go to have to run for for the Army, for an event or for a test or something like that, a lot of times I'll throw in a mile run or whatever, right? So this warm-up does change from time to time, but more or less the fundamentals is pretty much the same pretty much all the time. So I'm gonna go ahead and get myself set up. I already have my my plates kind of gathered, my bar set, and I'm just gonna get myself kind of into the swing here and just show you how I do. So hopefully this will answer some questions for you guys and how I go about warming up, specifically for heavier squats. And yeah, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and here we go. All right, so we'll kick things off. A little voiceover here. So first things first, I like to put my knee sleeves on. And when I put my knee sleeves on originally, I like just pull them up over my calves. And I find that when I warm up, that compression of the calf just kind of helps me out. And then after getting the knee sleeves on, I also like to throw my elbow sleeves on. The elbow sleeves, I feel just keep some compression and kind of make me feel better generally with the elbows. So especially when I'm going heavier, I prefer to have my elbow sleeves on while I squat. So I like to have those on too. And then just kind of slip all my gear back on and be warm, right? So sweatpants, sweatshirt. Here I'm just kind of moving forward, and I like to do this where I hold this 45 plate as a counterbalance, and really all I'm doing is just kind of rocking back and forth, and I'm trying to stretch and kind of warm up the calves to help me hit depth. So just really feeling like I can hit that depth and get to where I need to be, rock back and forth, stretch the calves, because some of the injuries that I've had recently kind of involve my calves. So I like to make sure that my lower extremities are a little bit warm, especially like I said, the calf, rock back and forth, warm up. Nothing too significant, and I don't spend terrible long on it, but it is enough to make me feel like I'm ready to do what I'm here to do. Then after the stretch and the warm-up, I'll just move into the bar. So part of my warm-up is just starting the movement, right? So I don't really do a big fancy warm-up and any real craziness, right? Oftentimes my warm-up for me is performing the movement. So I have that plate and do the warm-up with the plate, and then I go to the bar and start going through the range of motion. So actually performing the movement I'm about to go perform. How many times I do this is really kind of dependent on how I feel. Sometimes I'll do it once, and sometimes I'll do it 2 or even 3 times before I feel like I'm ready to rock. And then it's time to move up. So I start with a plate, right, on each side. So 135 in this case, it's a 55-pound bar. So we're dealing with 145. And again, 10 reps. A lot of times with this weight here, I will do this 2 or even 3 times. I'm only going to show it once, just for brevity, but a lot of times I'll do this multiple times. And this is really, honestly, where I feel most of the warm-up actually happens, right? There's a very, very moderate weight, and just continue to do the movement, go through full range of motion. This is actually where I feel like I'm warming. Everything from here is really just for that neural that neural familiarity, right? I need to feel the weight before I accept it. So from the 135 or the 145, really everything else is more of a neural bump.
bumping up to 2 plates. So this is 235, and here I'm going to do this 5 times. So again, went from the 10 reps down to the 5 reps, and just trying to feel that increase in weight, trying to feel the movement go through range of motion. I'm just kind of priming my body to do what it is that I came here to do. So that's really the focus here. The weight isn't super crazy, and I'm just trying to get ready to do the thing. I wanted to make a joke out of this and just show how much I just sit and eat candy and kind of drink water in between sets, but this is a fairly common occurrence between sets. My rest period between stuff is kind of determined how I feel, but oftentimes I'm just eating candy and drinking water. Before I move to 3 plates, this is when I move my knee sleeves up and actually put them on my knees. Before this, they just rest on my calves for the compression, but I just wanted to demonstrate, this is me getting ready to accelerate and weight a little bit more. So I, at 315, move the sleeves up to my knees, and that's kind of like a big step for me. What you'll find is a lot of is emotional too, right? Once you've set your pattern, it's just kind of like an emotional thing too. You come to expect, at certain points you do certain things. So this has become my pattern. So at 3 plates, knee sleeves are now up, and I'm going to go ahead and do 3 reps with the 3 plates. In this case it's 325, but with a normal bar it would be 315. And this is, again, just to feel the increase in weight. For all intent and purpose, I'm really already kind of warmed up. And now from here on out, we're really just making these jumps just so that I can kind of feel that increase in weight. From the 3 plates to the 4 plates, big step here is we go ahead and throw the belt on. And you'll notice here, I don't put the belt on super tight, right? I just get it on and, kind of hand tighten it. I don't use anything to brace myself and get it super snug. I just want it on so I can feel it, and I move to 4 plates. So at 4 plates, everything from here on out is all singles. So no matter where I'm going, even if I am doing rep work, at 4 plates, everything is a single. Because ultimately, I want to make sure that I'm warmed up to do the thing that I came here to do, but I'm not tired. And this here is now working weight. We're dealing with 595, and we're working with our 3s. So you can see this is a shot from the side, doing my rep of 3. Nice and smooth. And everything that I've did previous to this allowed me to be ready to do this. And it's about getting warm, feeling the weight, being mentally, physically, and emotionally prepared to do the thing that I came here to do. I want to make sure that I don't wear myself out to get there, but I wore myself up sufficiently. And this is a rear shot of the exact same set that you saw from the side. Very same set. And this happened to be my last set of the day. And on this particular day, again, I did a 3x3 with 595. So this is kind of a rear shot of the exact same set. And that's it. All right. Want to kind of finalize this video and wrap it down real fast. It may not have been the most exciting video for you guys to have ever seen, but I do get questions about how I approach my warm-ups, and so I just wanted you guys to see it, right? So that's kind of soup to nuts, how I performed my warm-up and how I went through and got myself up to my working weight and through my working sets. I did take pauses in between, all my sets. The amount of the pause, the amount of the break, isn't really necessary. It's not that important, right? I basically just waited long enough to feel like I was okay. And so as a powerlifter, I'm free to do that. I'm not under some clock necessarily, and so I have time to kind of get my feet back underneath me before I go and do my next working set or whatever. So, in some instances, I was taking upwards of 10-minute break. Just kind of sitting down, drinking some water, walking around a little bit. I found that I enjoy walking kind of in between sets and just kind of pacing back and forth, and that just keeps me moving and prevents me from tightening up too much. And yeah, so I'll do that a lot, pace back and forth. But eating some sugar, some Sour Patch Kids, and kind of hanging out, listening to some music, catching my breath, and then go back at it when I feel like I'm ready. So if you guys have any other questions, comments, or concerns about kind of today's workout and like what I was doing, or more specific stuff about warm-ups and whatever, go ahead and leave those questions in the comment box below. I'll be sure to respond. I appreciate you guys continuing to support me and the channel with everything that you guys do. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's it, guys. Remember, no matter what it is you think you can't do, be smart and kind of methodical about how you get up to whatever it is that you're about to do. It's important to get up there quickly while also getting warm and not wasting energy. But that's never going to happen if you don't get in and train to spite. You're either going to find an excuse, you're going to find a way. And I hope that you guys continue to find the way. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.